there's no way that you can tell that much truth without offending certain portions of the population. And so now you have to figure out how you're going to handle that. And at 5'5", I've always handled it just first. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere.
With Beyonce, you know, it's just a weird thing because I do love her so much, and I would never ever want to do anything to hurt her or her image because she's, you know, she's important to us, but it's just a weird thing right now. Like, I love Beyonce still. And then you have celebrities like a Jay-Z. And this is where I think the whole fallout with the Beyonce, she's just kind of in the crosshairs because of all of what's going on in the media with respect to Jay-Z.
There's no vindication for me because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters and the victim-making machine.
Well, before 2024, Katt Williams had been sharing viewpoints in interviews and performances suggesting that the entertainment world was nearing a significant turning point where long-protected reputations and power structures might eventually be exposed. At first, many people dismissed his comments as comedic exaggeration or typical stage provocation, but later, real-world developments brought fresh attention back to those earlier remarks. Public conversation first intensified around the widely reported legal controversies involving Sean Combs, which shifted how audiences viewed figures who were once considered untouchable, and this gradually pushed online speculation toward Jay-Z as social media theories claimed events were unfolding in a way similar to Williams' predictions. The discussion grew even stronger after unconfirmed rumors spread that Jay-Z and Beyoncé may have left the United States for an unknown location, though there has been no official confirmation, and the claims remained entirely speculative. Interest also returned to older investigative conversations mentioning an informal FBI tip connected to materials related to the Jeffrey Epstein case, where uncertain or poorly recalled references to names such as Pushit and Harvey Weinstein sometimes surfaced. The original reporting itself noted the uncertainty and potential memory errors. Yet once the information circulated across social platforms, it quickly turned into widespread theories, reaction videos, and efforts to link separate events into one narrative, with some discussions staying cautious while others leaned heavily into speculation.
People like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living killing our people. So how the f*** stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, by anything, they go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Man. Liars are now the face of our culture.
Approximately 2006, blank last recalled being used by Epstein. Okay, so this is the first half and the section in which Jay-Z's name comes up. And while an allegation is an allegation is an allegation, what has me kind of skeptical here is the time frame in which Jay-Z is cropping up here. 1996, which is not the earliest point of his career, but early enough in terms of his studio album discography. He was barely having moved out of Marcy at that point, and his first record only sold like 43,000 copies. There's been a litany of debates going back and forth about like whether or not it would have been believable for Jay-Z to sort of have been in these kinds of circles way back in 1996, which I know the waters do get muddy a little bit because of how popular and massive Jay-Z is as a figure now. So as a result of that, it's kind of easy to almost like, you know,
as online speculation continues to spread, many supporters within Jay-Z's fan community have pushed back, arguing that the growing storyline is being overstated and taken out of context. From their point of view, the conversation is starting to resemble historical rewriting rather than true accountability. Their main argument centers on credibility and timing, pointing out that in 1996 he was still in the early phase of his music career and had not yet achieved the global business and cultural influence often linked to him today. Fans argue it is unlikely he would have had access to the types of international networks being suggested by critics, and they warn against judging past events through modern expectations. Some supporters also compare the situation to the widely discussed Tony Busby-linked Jane Doe claims from the previous year, which eventually lost momentum after closer review. To them, the current surge of discussion appears driven more by unclear online references, social media amplification, and assumptions based on association, rather than confirmed facts or solid evidence.
In 1996, Jay-Z, still without a record label, living in New York, was already hanging around with Harvey Weinstein. Sounds like BS, just like the last time. But some people are saying this is the time period that Jay-Z was chasing LL Cool J around in clubs in New York to battle him for clout, and we're supposed to believe he was connected to Weinstein and Epstein. They're saying Jay-Z was a rapper who was getting dissed by Tupac. All right, so look, they're saying that, look, Jay-Z can't have been that popular. He didn't have this sort of Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein connections in 1996. It was too early. But then some people are arguing, wasn't he like 26 and already connected to the game? It's possible, in my opinion. Jay had connections by then. Reasonable Doubt wasn't the start of his career. But then people are arguing and said that if he was that connected, so much connected, he was close friends with Weinstein, who was already winning Oscars, why couldn't he even get signed by some label? If Jay-Z was so close with him, why didn't they use his firm to produce Streets Is Watching? Why didn't they do anything together for 20 years, never appeared together when they were such close friends, according to his lady? But then we get to this. So there's been a lot of allegations that Jay-Z has dated.
Another part of the discussion that continues to draw attention even among supporters is the early timeline of the relationship between Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Publicly shared accounts often claim that Beyoncé was 17 years old when Jay-Z first showed romantic interest, while he was already an established adult figure in the music business. Although their relationship later grew into one of the most celebrated and influential partnerships in modern music culture, the age gap has recently become a renewed point of debate as audiences place greater focus on examining historical power dynamics. What was once viewed as a minor background detail was rarely questioned in earlier years, but the current social climate has encouraged more critical reflection, leading some fans to revisit old interviews, lyrics, and public appearances as they try to balance long-standing admiration for the couple's artistic legacy with growing public sensitivity toward relationships involving age and influence gaps.
Audition with Jay-Z. Tell me what he said to you.
A really good audition.
And what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he said it one more.
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed. Everyone was talking about it, and the 6 hours that she spent with him, and the 4 hours that she spent alone with him with no parental supervision. Her father didn't show up till the next day to come and collect the check.
Well, and
this isn't her life.
The rumors were even beyond that, right? That Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with her when she was 17 is what a lot of this came out through a publicist who later then
had
to
spoken
apologize.
To my friend Jonathan Hay? You should talk to Jonathan.
Please.
Because Jonathan was there. He was right there working with Rihanna. And it was right when they started crafting her to be seen as a brand and commodity only and not a person. And when I talk to Jonathan now, just to hear him when he thinks of his teenage daughters, he was like, Rihanna was the same age my girls are now. I couldn't imagine putting my daughters through what we put her through. And then the next thing you know, she was removed from that first team from Palm the Replay and replaced with all new handlers and kept sheltered in Los Angeles, where she was going out to parties and partying at 15, 16, 17 years old, hanging out at the Rainbow Room, hanging out. Yeah, like it was one of my friends who found out she was 17 when everyone thought she was 21. And he was like, yo, why do y'all got me carrying this girl around? And she's, it's cool, it's cool.
Well, but just to echo and support you, like they had to debunk that. Oh, we apologize. It wasn't real. We made it up in hopes of giving her single a boost.
Yeah, they
like,
promised
what?
Jonathan a deal working at Tidal and something, and then they reneged. And then the next thing you know, he was caught in a home invasion robbery while he was working on the Drake secret baby mama story. Jeez. Sophie. He was duct taped him and his daughter, and he was pow whipped in front of his child. So, you know, there's a lot that goes on in the backdrop. And I know the PTSD. I know what it's like to be in a trunk, you know.
Speaking of PTSD, you made a comment about this. Like, this was from the Super Bowl appearance more recently. This bothered you, seeing her put the Rockefellers logo out there.
If you
what was your
back
insight to that?
And watch, it was almost as if she didn't want to put her hands up, and then she looked over where Jay-Z's box was, and then you just see her hands. She look at her. She's looking at his box.
As the conversation widened attention, also returned to the legacy of Aaliyah, whose life and career have long been surrounded by admiration along with lingering unanswered questions. Recently, her name resurfaced mainly through social media sharing of older photos and interview clips rather than through any newly verified information. Some online discussions have focused on images showing a young Aaliyah with Jay-Z, which has sparked renewed commentary about reported past interest during a period when she was also professionally connected with her Kelly. For many viewers, revisiting these moments through a modern lens feels uncomfortable, especially as public awareness of entertainment industry power imbalances has increased over time. More controversial are internet theories suggesting that Aaliyah's death was anything other than a tragic accident, even though these claims remain completely unverified and speculative. The rumors continue to circulate largely because of the emotional weight of her story and the unanswered questions surrounding her untimely passing. Ultimately, the ongoing debate reflects a broader social pattern. When information feels incomplete or transparency appears limited, speculation often rises to fill the uncertainty.
You know what's really f***ed up? She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There are witnesses who signed NDAs. Why would you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement about a plane crash and what happened leading up to it?
Twin-engine Cessna was headed for Florida when it crashed Saturday on Abaco Island, 100 miles north of Nassau, killing popular R&B singer Aaliyah and 8 others. Investigators now say from witness statements an engine may have failed and that the plane may have been overloaded.
Why the would you need to sign a don't ask about a plane crash if it was accidental? Riddle me that. Riddle me that. A plane crash should be accidental.
Should be.
Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul play?
Stricken parents, her aunt Gladys Knight, Aaliyah's boyfriend Damon Dash, fellow hip-hop honcho Sean Puffy Combs, R&B singers Usher, Maya, and Monica, hip-hop artist Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, Lil' Kim, Missing even former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson. As Aaliyah's casket was moved from the famed Frankie Campbell Funeral Chapel, her heartbroken mother, Diane Houghton, gently acknowledged the crowd of mourners.
He was after Beyonce when she was before 18, correct? I mean, as we go through the timeline, they claim, oh no, I met him at 18 and then we waited till I was 19, but they knew each other when she was like 15, 16, correct? He clearly had eyes, and it's not the only one, right? There's Aaliyah as well. I was looking at these photos. There's a history
but Aaliyah,
of this, right?
definitely. A lot of people don't realize the timeline, but after everything went bad with Robert Kelly, and he had to divorce Aaliyah, Jay-Z was interested while she was still underage. And as she started spending more time in New York, he was very, very, very right there. She didn't want that. She didn't want that with him. And if there's one thing I can tell you about Sean Carter, being embarrassed and being rejected are things he does not handle well. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're crazy. He didn't do anything to Big L. He didn't do anything to Lamont Coleman. But I think people tend to forget, if Dame had successfully signed Lamont to Rockefeller, we wouldn't even know about Reasonable Doubt. It would have stayed a cult classic, probably sold 750,000. If Lamont Coleman had signed to Rockefeller, he would have been the star. He's always removed anything that can make him look as average as he is. I don't know how many times they used to tell the story, oh, he has a photographic memory. He remembers all of his lyrics, yet he's always had a teleprompter in the floor at his shows. That's why he would always sit down and look down at it looked like he was looking at his shoes. No, he was reading the lyrics. He is a magician. Everything you see about him is an illusion. But what he loves most is controlling youth.
Well, that was something Nas said way back, saying, yeah, he was indulging with these back with R. Kelly.
And I wish I hadn't signed paperwork. And I wish I hadn't taken money. I wish.
Well, there's
but
a lot
I
of that
know
you can't
everybody else that didn't. I spent my time collecting these people. And they will have their day.
As the discussion expanded, the internet quickly transformed the moment into memes and satirical reactions, mixing speculation with humor and pop culture references. Figures like 50 Cent, Rihanna, and Nicki Minaj became part of the wider online conversation, showing how social media often turns serious celebrity debates into entertainment-focused commentary.
To Jay-Z and Pusha T being exposed in the Epstein files. For those of you guys that don't know, last night it was publicly revealed to the entire world that Pusha T and Jay-Z were both revealed to be in the Epstein files, with them being accused of doing very disturbing and nasty things. For Pusha T specifically, he was claimed in 2007 to have been with Harvey Weinstein, where he then ended up a woman. And as for Jay-Z, his accusations are also very disturbing, with him being accused of doing something to a girl while she was sleeping. And with all of this coming out, 50 Cent couldn't waste the opportunity to go at his nemesis Jay-Z by basically blasting him and making fun of him all over social media. And this is specifically what he ended up posting to his Instagram page, which were just very weird AI photos of Jay-Z. And then 50 Cent also hinted that he is planning on doing a massive documentary with this entire situation and exposing Jay-Z, with the caption of this post saying, damn, they got Jay-Z on the Epstein list. I gotta do a doc on this. And 50 didn't stop there, because then he posted another photo of the headline of this entire situation breaking out, with him just pointing more jokes and fun at Jay-Z. So let's go. What do you get to my entire situation? 50 Cent just made jokes of Jay-Z.
Dad, I know I promised you I'm gonna give you my first Grammy, but we might have to fight for this one.
She said she want to thank everybody for her first Grammy.
Anyway, I'd like to thank Jay-Z for being a part of this record with me.
She'd like to thank Jigga Man for being the greatest in the world.
Ellen Reed, Steve Bartles, Tata, Jay Brown, Karen Kwok, for finding this amazing.
Nicki Minaj especially attracted major online attention after posting a series of messages that many viewers interpreted as indirect social commentary. Without directly naming Jay-Z in every post, her wording led some readers to assume he was the intended target, although the posts were mostly viewed as exaggerated opinion-based expressions rather than confirmed claims. Her remarks included highly controversial and sensational phrasing that many audiences treated as rhetorical or hyperbolic, but they still added fuel to an already intense online debate. Around the same period, social media users began noticing that Jay-Z had reportedly lost a significant number of followers in a short time. What drew even more attention was the observation that several high-profile accounts, including those connected to Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, Cynthia Bailey, Kelly Rowland, and other brands or entertainment pages such as Apple Music and the National Football League were no longer following him, though no official reason was given, and online observers viewed the situation as another example of how digital silence can sometimes encourage speculation.
Jay-Z's Instagram account also lost over 100,000 followers after his name appeared in the documents. Some major accounts, including celebrities and brands, are believed to have unfollowed him. Now that right there, that's something. That is something there, because when you say celebrities unfollowed him, you got to think about how the industry is and how they're all in the industry. But I said there's layers to it. You know, there's different tiers. So like, it's like when news come out, some people want to unfollow so they don't lose their brand deals, you know. Oh, you didn't hear what happened, you know, what's alleged against Jay-Z? And we see that you're following him, deal gone, you know. So some people are probably trying to separate themselves so they don't lose any brand deals, you know. Let's see here. I'll read that again. Some major accounts, including celebrities and brands, are believed to have unfollowed him. At the time of reporting, Jay-Z still has around 1 million followers. And Beyoncé, along with Lindsay Lohan, Diddy, Ivanka Trump, and Kris Jenner, continue to follow him. Okay? Speculations suggest Kim Kardashian, Rihanna, Apple Music, and the NFL may have unfollowed him as well. That right there is huge. I mean, extremely huge. For one, when you look at, which is crazy too, because you got Kris Jenner, the mama of Kim, still follow him, but they're saying that Kim Kardashian unfollowed him. Rihanna, again, Jay-Z is one of the dudes, you know, it was rumored some stuff with Rihanna and him and the whole Chris Brown situation. Again, I'm just saying rumors because we don't really know what the truth is. We can speculate, but yeah. Apple Music, man. Apple Music. But the NFL. Jay-Z, for you guys who don't know, I'm pretty sure most of you do, but Jay-Z is the one who, you know, helps the NFL find the talent for the halftime shows. You know, I remember Lil Wayne was mad at him because when you had the NFL in New Orleans and Lil Wayne wasn't part of the halftime show, it was like, what the hell? Y'all in my hometown, you couldn't even get me? People thought like, damn, Jay-Z is in this position. For sure, Lil Wayne is going to be there. This is...
As speculation kept spreading online, new claims surfaced suggesting that Jay-Z had reportedly traveled outside the United States to an undisclosed location with the phrase "gone full." Diddy starting to circulate across social platforms as users drew comparisons with recent controversies involving other public figures. However, there is no verified or mainstream reporting confirming that Jay-Z permanently left the country, and no authenticated travel records or official statements support the rumor. Despite the lack of evidence, the claim continued gaining traction as viral discussion moved faster than verified information, once again showing how online momentum can sometimes outpace factual confirmation.
Father, I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, this can't take nobody not saying nothing. Like, you know, it's not fair. I was 7. My mom had to sit down with me. I guess she thought I was old enough to know now. And she been saying Sean Carter, that's what she was calling him at first before she was calling Jay-Z. And I really didn't know who that was because I was young and, you know, had my little brother and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but I really, this was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, it's not your father, and I really want you to know it is. This person is your father, and I just want you to know. And she continued to tell me that over the years and over the years and over the years, even till I was grown. He never tried to contact me in any type of way, and that's all I'm asking is, like, 'cause I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like, I've been going through, just like I said, a lot, and as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really? Why you? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with. I work every day. I also have my own kids to take care of. So it's like, it's been a journey for me. And it's just like, you know, I just got so much on my name right now. I never ask for money. I don't do interviews just saying, hey, Jay-Z, give me your money, or I'm coming at the Jay-Z for his money. I never did that. I'm not that type of person. I work for everything. The next is, I'm just trying to basically make sure no other kids or nobody else in the world has to go through this. Basically, don't feel afraid to go to court and see if a person is your biological parents. You know, so many people are scared, and this is a big thing in the world. A lot of people don't have their fathers because they scared to go out and search for them. And sometimes it only take a little search, you know, go search. And if it's wrong, we're adults. Well, most of us adults, even for the teenagers, this shows this being a role model for them, showing you can go in the courtroom, and if you're doing everything correctly, you should be able to just get treated as equal as the other person. I've always been a person that I never hate anyone. I never, you know, I don't walk around with hate for a person. So I try to teach my kids that just be the best that you can be. So that's just a motto I go off. I would never hate Jay-Z. You know, it was never that type thing. You know, I respect him for everything he did. And as I said, I've been going through a whole lot through these years because this case, like me, my mom, my godmom, we didn't seen the worst. We didn't have people, you know, slander my name. Like, you want Jay-Z money. And I hear it all. I'm just going to fight until I'm not here no more. And it's never going to be against no one. Like, you know, I'm going to continue to fight. It'll take another 10 years, maybe another.
Reports circulating across the internet claim that Jay-Z may have departed the country after his name allegedly appeared in newly resurfaced documents, sparking widespread speculation on social media. No official charges or verified allegations of wrongdoing have been announced, and there is no confirmed evidence connecting him to any criminal activity. Legal experts continue to stress that simply appearing in investigative files does not automatically indicate guilt or legal involvement. Despite this, the absence of public appearances and formal clarification has continued to fuel online rumors, leaving both supporters and critics waiting for more concrete information as the story keeps developing. The conversation expanded again when an individual publicly known as Reurfist appeared online, reviving long-standing claims that he is the biological son of Jay-Z. Ray's paternity case had previously been dismissed after years of legal proceedings, and although the legal matter was considered closed, public interest never fully faded. Recently, he returned to social media and expressed appreciation toward Nicki Minaj following her controversial posts. While he did not announce any new legal actions or court filings, the timing of his return sparked curiosity and speculation about whether he might try to revisit the case or if his activity was purely symbolic. At present, there is no evidence of new legal developments, but the situation continues to demonstrate how unresolved public narratives can persist even after official rulings are made. Next voice. So what is really happening here? Is this simply the internet moving faster than verified facts? Or are these conversations signaling the start of a larger shift in how the entertainment industry is examined? The debate continues as speculation grows around figures like Jay-Z, highlighting the broader tension between online rumor culture and confirmed information. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy this kind of content, do not forget to subscribe so you stay updated on future videos. Until next time, stay connected.